What's your favorite scary movie?
Do you ever fantasize about
damn enchiladas?
That's much too vulgar display of power, Karen.
Let me ask you one question. Are you having fun?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Because I promise you, you and I are going to have some fun.
Oh, no.
It is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Shut up, you bitch hog.
Game over.
I was thinking the other day about you joining the show. Thank you very much. Love having you here.
I love to be here.
But it's like, it's not a negative. We're having to, you change co-hosts and whatnot. It's not at all, because you think about TV shows, radio shows, any type of entertainment, they go through people that it's a job at the end of the day. People change jobs like that. So I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, I don't know. I think I put too much pressure on myself.
Are you
for this
already
show.
looking to replace me?
Yes.
Oh, at least you're honest.
Send your applications into the dreadcastpodcast@gmail.com.
What's that address?
For your replacement. That's dreadcastpodcast@gmail.com. Welcome back to the Dreadcast. This is going to be really hard to record because I, for one, hate time travel in media. Okay, now hear me out. Because this recording you are listening to and watching, hello, you fine folks out there, is in the future of the rest of the episode, but meant to be portrayed like it's before the rest of the episode.
Okay, to put it very simply, we recorded talking about Beyond Evil.
I didn't want to admit it.
Tom accidentally recorded over the audio for it, and then we recorded 619 Evil 976, and that went through fine. So
did it?
Everything we did, I bloody hope so.
No, you have to come out next week to redo that one as well.
So he realised after I'd left. So we've come back and we're recording the first half again. So we're rediscussing this absolute pile of shit.
We're going to talk. Hey, you can't say that right now. We are discussing it, then we'll decide after.
Yeah.
But basically, the episode obviously was split into two parts. We'll be talking about Beyond Evil first, and then 976 Evil, which we have already talked about. So you will find out at the end of the episode which shit film we liked the most. Or did we? Oh, that's the mystery of the episode, even though we already know ourselves.
I am quite forgetful.
That is true. That is very true. But yes, welcome back to Dreadcast. My name is Tom. This is Nick, co-host Nick, if you will.
Hello.
And this is a Two Films Under special. Two Films Under is a series where we pick a random decade from the 70s to the 10s, and we have to pick a random piece of criteria from the coffin tombola.
No.
Oh, it's... Well!
20s are available as well.
Did we put 20s in there?
Yeah, because it's now halfway through the 20s, so there's still 5 years.
But we're using a die.
Yeah, so 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties, 10s, 20s. 6.
70s?
70s,
80s,
80s.
90s, noughties, 10s.
Yeah, 20s.
I don't know. I'm going to have to speak to the people about numbers. Whoever makes the numbers, I don't know about that.
I mean, unless you want to...
Is that 6?
Yeah, that's the number of fingers you're holding up. Well, actually, you're holding up 5 fingers and a thumb.
We'll see about that. I'm going to have to send a letter into the...
Unless you want to discount...
Department of Numbers.
Discount that, and then go 70s, 80s, 90s, 10s, and then everything pre-70s.
I mean, we could.
It could get difficult to find.
It's going to be very hard to find. All right, we'll stick with 20s because there'll be some utter trash. So we pick decade, and we pick a criteria from the coffin. And for this episode, we received 1980s. That's where these films were from. That was it. I couldn't remember what decade they were from.
These were 80s with evil in the title.
Yes, as you can see, 976 Evil and Beyond Evil. It's very clever. It's a very clever game. And these are the films we picked. So, just before we do obviously get into it, I think we're not going to fake pick, but we did pick in the mystery recording that will never see the light of day. We did pick next month's Two Films Under.
And I'm really looking forward to it because it's going to be really bollocks. So
It's going to be bollocks to find. It's going to be bollocks to watch.
Oh yeah. So the criteria was it has to be an unusual monster or creature,
Yeah.
and it's from the noughties.
Yeah. See, I would, if it, I can't remember if it's from the noughties or not, but
Well, my first thought was teeth.
yeah, no, I think that's
With a-
fair.
A
Oh,
scary monster vagina, which is from 2007, but it's too good. It's too good a film.
I don't know about
It's a good film, Tom.
that.
You probably don't understand it.
Okay, so one of my ideas was a trilogy that I love called the Feast trilogies.
Oh fuck yes, Feast.
But it's not an
It's not
unusual
shit.
monster. It's not. Feast 1's great. Feast 2
Yeah.
and 3 get really shit.
Feast 1, just hero arrives, but just comes hero on the
Yeah.
street. Oh, I love.
But it's not really an unusual monster. It's got very human-like 2 arms, 2 legs.
It's also it's too good a film.
Yeah, but it is a B movie, really. But it's not B movie enough.
So I found a film where I've not seen it, but I like the idea of it. Zombie cows,
I mean,
and
it's cow though. It's still not.
but zombie cow,
But it's still cow.
still zombie. But one of the reasons I think you won't like it is because it's an Irish movie, and you love the Irish accent.
I do
don't
love the Irish accent. So yeah, unusual monsters and from the 2000s. That will be coming up in March. If you have any suggestions, write them in the comments to this video or send them on into the Dreadcastpodcast at gmail.com.
But it has to be a bad film. Like Splinter fits in as unusual monster and naughties, but it's far too good.
A film that you wouldn't recommend to anyone and would never watch again. That's what we're after.
Never watch again's key. I've seen Splinter too many times.
Yeah. So that's that. Any other business before we rehash everything we did? Is there any other business to tackle?
No,
What else did we talk about? I can't remember.
Pretty waffling on. You were telling me to stop talking about wrestling probably most of the time.
Yeah, but you've just got it out of the way now, so that's good.
I'll find a way.
You said 619 evil, so
Yeah.
Before we do, if you haven't already, you can check out our past episode, Revenge from 2017, Correlé Fager. I'm getting that name right now. Fager's debut and previous film Before the Substance. You can check that out on YouTube and all major audio streaming services. Very happy with that one.
Although if you're
Very happy with that
able to
episode.
watch it on YouTube as opposed to just listening to the audio, I mean the audio is nice. You have our lovely voices. But if you watch on YouTube, you have some really nice clips of the films being shown.
We do. I do like to splice a lot of clips in there.
Yeah, so you can see what we're talking about.
Had to be really careful though when his John Thomas is flapping around a bit. Had to really edit that bit out.
It's Mr. Johnson.
Johnson. The bit at the end of that where I was telling you there's one shot that lasts like 5 minutes. I got that in there and then sped it up so it ended up being like 30 seconds of a clip. So he's just spinning around, running around, and then had to like enlarge it giggly so that his waist level down wasn't shown. That would get flagged.
He was running around with his cock out.
He was.
Aye.
He was indeed for quite a lot of the film, to be fair. Anyway, go check that out. Revenge. So we need to talk about Beyond the. We don't need to. We don't need to do anything, but it's an obligation to keeping this podcast, this show alive.
I feel we should because we watched it.
You watched it a lot longer than I did.
I don't want to have watched this film for no reason.
So Beyond Evil was my pick from 1980. I'm going to do we're not going to actually. We're going to run through it pretty quickly, I think. But the synopsis is very straightforward. Newlyweds, John Saxon and Linda Day George, playing Larry and Barbara, move to an island mansion haunted by a scorned woman.
Yeah, John Saxon, probably better known for... John Saxon, better known for playing kind of police-type roles and detective-type roles in different films.
You're doing your homework.
I only know him from Nightmare on Elm Street.
What were you going to say, Friday the 13th then?
You
like to get them confused?
I can get all the major franchises I'll mess up on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jason Voorhees in the Halloween film, it's great fun.
Yeah, he was Nancy's dad in Nightmare on Elm Street. He was a police chief in Black Christmas. He was in Tenebrae, and he's been in a few other... He's a staple of horror around that time. But
never really the lead. Always a secondary or tertiary character.
Yeah, you're right. Not really. Even in Tenebrae, he wasn't. So yeah, they moved to an island mansion haunted by a scorned woman who dabbled in the occult. That's pretty much it. And I have found a nice quick synopsis to read that from.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So
They fly in,
yeah.
meet his friend at the airport. They're supposed to be flying into condos to live in that they're helping kind of finance, and the condos aren't ready.
That's my notes.
So his friend's like, oh, I've paid for you to stay in a hotel. They go to the hotel. They're not very happy. They meet up with a friend for drinks that night. And he's like, actually, I know you're in a hotel, but I've found this mansion for you guys to live in. You're going to love it. It's haunted.
Do they state it's haunted?
Yeah, well, he talks, he
Is
explains...
that a selling point?
He doesn't tell them, he tells them the history of the mansion.
Yeah.
Is, this lady moved in with
Alma.
her husband, Alma, and her husband, her Atlanta Falcons. They killed each other. She was into the occult. He was into affairs, and
yeah,
she poisons him.
They kill each other, basically.
Yeah, they kill each other at the same time. You know, she chops off his head a little bit, and then he has enough strength left to chop off her head.
Alma Martine, she's a black magic woman. I think it was a point of he was fed up with her dabbling in the occult.
Yeah, and she was kind of fed up with him having other women.
The marriage
around.
was over for a while. I think.
It was over when it started.
I think it wasn't going to last. It
Yeah.
wasn't going to last. Just move on. But no, they decided to kill each other.
Yeah, as you do.
And then this house ends up being in the possession of Larry and Barbara. Unfortunately, Alma her presence starts to become more present, if you will, from the grave.
Becomes more present.
From the grave and possessing Barbara throughout the
Her
film.
spirit becomes stronger.
Yes, and basically using Barbara to commit her deeds throughout the film.
Yeah, possessing her.
Yes.
It becomes... Well, there's a funny scene early on in the film, and there's not a lot of good scenes in the film, so I'll bring up the funny one.
I'm trying to remember which one.
Oh, well, the idea is that everybody on the island knows this house is haunted.
Mm.
Nobody likes it. Nobody wants to be there. So they spend the first night there, and the next morning, the hotel staff have sent their
the luggage
over with a couple of hotel workers.
Yeah, the luggage.
There's a spiral staircase in the middle of the house. They're looking down the middle, and all you can see is the door's been opened, and they're just hucking in the bags, just chucking them in. You don't even see the hotel workers. You just see the bags come flying in, and they keep coming. They seem to have like 400 bags.
Yeah.
They're all nice and empty, so they don't make lovely banging hollow sounds. Just chuck them in, and then you just hear the car driving off. You're like, yes, okay.
Speaking of adding clips to it, there will be, in fact, right now, you would have just seen it if you're watching the YouTube, but if you listen to the audio, check out the YouTube clip right here, with the YouTube video right here, and you'll see that clip we just talked about.
Chuck.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Very
It's very, it doesn't really fit.
No.
It is very comical.
Yeah.
I don't know how else it's meant to come across.
See, what that made me think of is Futurama.
Okay.
When Bender's great uncle Vladimir dies and he inherits the mansion. It's a haunted mansion.
I think I remember
So
that one. Yeah.
they travel out to Pennsylvania, I think it is,
Pennsylvania.
where the mansion is, and a robot kind of driving a carriage. It's like, I will take you this far and no further, and then it cuts and he's right there. They're at the house. You know?
Okay, yeah.
A lot of people say their place is haunted. For example, all of us say that. The idea that the locals know this is a bad place, haunted place. And the same here in this film.
It's the same here at the beginning,
But-
the opening shot, yeah. The doctor that we meet later on, Dr. Solomon. It's like, how do we describe it? Is it like, it's not tourists or just locals hanging with locals, or try, because it's set in the Philippines,
Yeah.
this house. So it's either tourists or, I would say it's tourists.
The locals are having looks like maybe a festival, or
It
like
looks
fire
like, yeah,
dancing
like-
and stuff.
Yeah.
He's with them because he's a local now. He lives there.
And one of the said tourists, shall we say, runs off. I can't remember why.
I think she goes to pee.
She goes to the P. I think that's what you said. Yeah, to the house, and a column falls on her.
Yeah.
You see Alma in the window, like.
Probably the best shot of the film is Alma in the window. It's the old-fashioned effect of
the optical
a creature
effect.
appearing.
Oh, is it the reverse?
Reverse mirror effect or
Yes,
something.
the reverse camera effect. Yes. Yeah, it is a good shot, but the column lands on her and just injures her arm a little bit.
Yeah. Just a bit.
Yeah, you expect her to be completely crushed, but
No, it just hurt her arm.
no. We don't see this doctor, this holistic spiritual doctor, if you will, until maybe the third act of the film, when he's trying to help John Saxon tackle the possession of his wife.
You see him in the first act.
You see a doctor with the pencil moustache.
No, you see Witch Doctor Man. Yeah, he comes to their gates early on and it says to Saxton.
See, you really like this film. You really remember it a lot better than I do.
I don't know, mate. Like, bad memories tend to hang around.
Like a bad smell.
Him and his wife.
His daughter wife, yes.
They come to like the gates at the front of their end of the driveway, really.
Yeah.
And he's trying to tell them, oh, this is kind of bad, blah, blah, blah. And Saxon's like, fuck off.
Is that when the gate's been fixed by some
yeah,
of the helpers?
So it's probably Act 2 then.
Yeah, okay, I remember that bit. Yeah. The other doctor I was thinking of that crops up right at the beginning in a really weird way. You said there was only one funny moment in the film. There's another one related to this character.
Yeah, you're right.
So when Larry and Barbara arrive at the airport, which, speaking of at the airport, they got all the sound effects at the airport. They used all the microphones to capture. You could barely hear what they're talking about because the airplanes are coming above them.
It's like they filmed it at an active airport.
Yeah.
And they just used the actual audio from
Yeah.
Which I like.
I do. I just wish I could hear what they were saying half the time.
They needed to be better mic'd up. But
Yes.
I'd much rather that than have them re-recording the sound in a studio and overdubbing themselves, which is always
Which
awful.
is basically every Italian film, yeah.
Or The Room. All of Tommy Wiseau's own lines.
So Larry and Barbara are about to leave the airport, but she's like, where's my bag? Where's my bag? And suddenly this man just appears and goes, here's your bag. I was watching you. It gives you the impression this guy is creepy. This guy is not on the level. No, he turns out to be perfectly sane doctor. That's part of the deal.
Yeah, it turns out that he is their friend's other business partner.
Yeah.
But
Their friend
we
Dell.
We don't think that she knows him.
No, it's not implied at all.
And he asks her out. She's got her husband there, and she's got a wedding ring on. He's like, maybe you can meet me for a drink later. You sleazy fucker.
I've been watching you. It's very baffling, that scene.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. They got no. You know that song?
Of course I do. I was waiting for you to carry on.
Oh, I couldn't remember how.
Okay. I was giving you the moment there. I was being quiet. So you mentioned about the one funny scene at the beginning. Unintentionally funny. This is the other unintentionally funny scene a bit later on, featuring this doctor, not on the level doctor at the beginning, but doctor. So throughout the film, Alma is possessing Barbara and picking people off one by one, telepathically. This doctor, he's...
Before you get to it,
go for it.
Let's try and keep it linear.
Yeah, of course.
So they've arrived. The doctor's had the bag, the creepy stuff, blah, 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 blah. The whole possessing thing, Alma ends up stabbing herself in the hand with like a knife or letter opener.
Yes.
And then she goes to see the doctor at the hospital. And he does some tests on her. And I don't give two shits about the scene because the whole thing was redubbed. And it stands out like a sore thumb.
It was, yeah.
Because before that, there's a lovely scene in the unbuilt condos where they haven't got any walls up yet. They've just got the concrete floor, concrete ceiling columns up. And there's a conversation going on, and you can hear the wind, and you can hear the conversation, and it's very clear they filmed it there.
Yeah, it's loud again, like the airport. Yeah.
And then they're in the doctor's office, and they've redubbed everything because their lips don't match what they're fucking saying. And it's just so... It stands out
noticeable.
So badly.
Really noticeable. Yeah, it is. No, you're right to get it back on track. I just love that kill. I love that kill, and it was right in my head as soon as I remembered it.
Yeah. So after the doctor's there, Barbara ends up just leaving the hospital. No one stops her.
Yeah, just walks out.
Walks
out. The knife though, the injury, it became like a little A scar.
Yeah. The
scar became like a little A for Alma. Shockingly, she likes to brand her victims from the other world, I guess. She leaves and just heads back home, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Kind of walks off.
Yeah.
And then husband is kind of like, wait a minute, where's my wife gone?
Yeah.
Starts beating everyone up.
Where's my wife? Where's my wife?
Kimbo!
Oh, no, wait. He doesn't... That's...
he beats them up later.
That's later on. He beats the two porters up.
For no
with
reason.
His very 70s/80s strikes. Those punches are very, like, old-timey. They're very, old Bond sort of strikes.
They're very, we can't afford stuntmen, so here's how we'll do it.
Quick strikes to the gut. Yeah. Should have just done a judo chop.
Judo chop.
Judo chop. So the a few of the kills, obviously the doctor we mentioned earlier, Del, Larry's best friend, who gives him the condominium / haunted house. He gets it at the end. Who else gets knocked off? Larry gets a
daughter wife.
She gets eviscerated later on. Yeah. So she's one. Larry is attempted. Foreman. Oh, crushed at the site. Yeah. But Larry is probably the first one. John Saxon again, back at the house. They have a spiral split staircase. He's walking up. It's probably about 2 flights. And they've got this devil. It's actually right there. If you're watching this, it's right there in the poster behind Alma.
It looks so bad. It's
awful.
Very spiky.
Yeah, it's all. Why would you have it on the stairs?
Yeah, it came with the house. What am I going to do? Throw it away?
The statue owns the house.
You would be its tenants.
But somehow Alma possesses
the statue.
Does something to the statue which knocks Larry down off the stairs down the central exposed area. Clearly seeing the stuntman taking the hit, and he's fine. He survives.
Yeah.
So he's the only one that really survives the attempted murder. But
he has to survive. He's one of the main characters.
That's not necessarily true in horror. It's not necessarily true. But the best kill is Dr. Albanos. Doctor we mentioned at the beginning of the film. Not Dr. Solomon. Dr. Solomon is the spiritual witch doctor. Yes. This one is the one who was creeping on Barbara. So it's
such a good kill.
He's driving in his Chevy, his Cadillac. It's quite a...
He's driving his car.
Yeah.
With the top down.
Top down.
Yeah, it's Philippines.
Down a normal
lovely,
road.
Sunny. Yeah. Completely normal road.
Yeah.
We say normal road. We would look at it as kind of maybe a dirt track, but it's a road.
I believe it's a road, and then he gets to the dirty area.
Oh, and then he gets to the quarry.
Yes, the quarry. Yes, they just turned off into the quarry quickly. But Alma telepathically rips his car's doors off, forces the accelerator down, while he's trying to control it, doing donuts. Does anything else break? The bonnet? Sorry, the tunk?
Yep, the bonnet flies up.
Bonnet flies up.
Breaks off. I think the bumper might fall off.
And then we get the best...
No, basically, this car ends up being like a trail of breadcrumbs to find where it ends up. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
door-
shedding bits all over the place. And still nobody finds his body for the entire movie.
Yeah.
The whole film, they never find him.
I mean, how could they after what happens to him? The car is directed telepathically, clearly, into the quarry.
Where he does some donuts.
But
That's really cool.
The car is 4 wheels, just at that moment, 4 wheels in the air.
Driving off a cliff.
It explodes.
Yeah.
And then it crashes to the floor.
Yeah.
But you can see the dummy still driving it.
You can see it on the screen right now.
Yeah, you have a look right now. And it just, boom, and the dummy's just on fire. So good. Again, unintentionally funny.
It's like they know that the pyrotechnics they've got in the car for the explosion probably won't survive the landing, so the trigger won't work. So the moment it leaves the cliff, we're triggering it. We guarantee the explosion this way.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know much about how they would commit to stunts like that. Could you put the pyrotechnics
in the 80s?
In the 80s, yeah. Could you put the pyrotechnics on the ground where the car's meant to land? I mean, I know you can't really control exactly where the car's going to land.
I think the concern with that would be if it was landing on them, then the explosion might then kind of almost bounce the car and move it to the wrong place.
Or it'd be like as we'll be recording in a bit, the Simpsons stuff, Hans Moleman, where he sort of slowly drives down and he gets knocked off a hill, a road, and then gently hits the tree, then explodes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm expecting from it. Either way, this wouldn't have looked good, I don't think.
No, it looked awful. And it was in slow motion to make it even worse.
But again, unintentionally funny from a film that is meant to be, I guess, somewhat of a psychological gothic horror, maybe?
It's supposed to be terrifying. They're not going for humour.
And I think we talked about this, that there's no horror in this film.
No.
It's more of a thriller.
No.
Back in the day.
Boring.
It is dull. It is dull. There's not much excitement. There's very little meat to this film.
I mean, they'd probably class it as a horror because it's about possession.
Yes.
And definitely going by the Amazon thumbnail for watching this film.
Yeah,
they're going for
remember
horror.
you brought up the thumbnail with the laser eyes coming
It
out.
looks so bad. The laser effect with the kind of the green after effects reminds me of the Crystal Maze.
Oh, with the robots you mentioned.
Yeah, so there was one of the games in Crystal Maze in the Futuristic Zone. There was like a laser quest type game where the contestant, I think, had to shoot 3 robots who had laser guns to get the crystal. But of course, you don't see the lasers. You don't see lasers being fired. When you go to play Laser Quest or something, you shoot, but you can't see the beams. So in post-production, they added kind of green lines so that the viewer watching on TV could see where they were shooting.
I remember you mentioning this.
And that's what I got from this Amazon thumbnail with her green laser eyes. And it turns out they used it in the film looking like that. It's
I mean, I was about to
absolutely
say, as it's used in the film, there's not a single scene or a shot where it's used that it really looks great. I mean, it's 1980. That's 45 years ago.
Yeah.
I think I looked. Well, the budget. I don't think the budget was high as well on this. I'm not trying to give him a pass. I'm just trying to say it. 1980 for optical effects like that.
But I'd say know your limit. Because the kind of reverse mirror effect with her appearing upstairs in the house at the beginning looked good.
It did. Maybe just stick with like coloured contacts at that time.
Yeah.
And the sound is like
or just a coloured light on her, making her appear green. Would be fine.
Yeah, just a big spotlight.
Yeah, pretty much. That would work.
Yeah, it could. So yeah, most of the film is Larry trying to solve what is happening to his wife, while his wife is seemingly being continuously possessed by the previous owner, Alma. As we come to the final act, Larry and Dr. Solomon are trying to really...
Oh, she's killed a friend by now.
She's killed Dell. She's lured Dell in.
Oh, Dell went round to try and bang her.
Yeah, and he was going to get it.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, come up to the bedroom," and then she shoved him out the window, and he went flying.
And the dummy
miles.
appeared again.
Yeah,
it was like T-posing. It reminded me of a scene in Top Secret. That shot. Seen Top Secret?
I haven't even heard of it.
Top Secret is basically, I think it was made before The Naked Gun by the same crew. It's got Val Kilmer, set in the war, World War II, and it's just incredible.
Okay, haven't seen it.
It is Naked Gun and airplane humor. It's made by the Zucker brothers.
Val Kilmer,
young Val. I think it's his first role.
I was about to say Val Kilmer before Naked Gun would be a very young Val Kilmer.
I think it's his first role.
Naked Gun was like 80s.
Yeah, yeah. Top Secret. I can never recommend Top Secret more. Some of the gags are so clever.
See, if I think of Naked Gun-esque humor, I'm thinking of like Hot Shots. Hot Shots Part 2.
Top Secret is 84.
Wow, okay. I think Naked Gun was 87.
88.
That was close.
Yeah. I can't recommend Top Secret enough. I'll show you the trailer when we're done.
Okay.
It's great. So yeah, towards the end of the film, then.
This how much we love this film. We're now talking about a different film entirely, different genre entirely.
If only we weren't doing a horror podcast and just a movie podcast.
I mean, The Accused isn't a horror.
The what?
The Accused. Jesus, I had Rape Revenge in my head. Revenge isn't really a horror.
Sorry, what's going on here? The Revenge?
Yeah, it's not really a horror.
It is. The context, everything about it is horror.
Rape Revenge sounds like it should be a horror, but I'd say it's more of kind of an action film.
I don't know. I think the context of that subgenre is horror.
Sorry, The Accused is a film about rape trial.
Okay.
Sorry. I was just thinking, weird thoughts. Kind of rape scenes in film, the ones that really stand out. See, Revenge stands out from the way it's done.
Well, there's barely any of it.
That's why.
Yeah,
it stands out because she's on screen, but she's not really being exposed, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Whereas in The Accused, which is Jodie Foster, and she won an Oscar for it, that's like a gang rape in a bar.
It's visceral.
It's very horrible. And they show the whole thing.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable.
And then you've got what's Burt Reynolds canoeing.
Oh, Deliverance.
There we go.
Yeah, Deliverance. Yeah, of course. And obviously I Spit on Your Grave.
Yep.
One of the most notorious ones is Irreversible.
Is that Monica Baccarin?
Monica Bellucci.
Oh, they're very different actresses.
Yes. And Vincent Cassel.
That's the whole film. This kind of, each scene is
Yeah.
Previous to the one.
Very nasty. Yeah.
So kind of, I think the rape is like the final scene of the film.
I can't remember exactly where. It's been a lot. I have one of those films I want to watch again.
That's like the triggering act for what else happens. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's in a subway alleyway type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very graphic and unpleasant.
How do we get to this? I was talking about Top Secret, and you suddenly said The Accused.
Oh no, you said it's a shame we're doing a horror podcast, not a movies podcast. And I pointed out that I'm not entirely sure the revenge is horror.
At the end of Beyond Evil.
Again, talking about anything.
Let's wrap this shit up. By the way, we may have mentioned more about Beyond Evil off the cuff while talking about 976 Evil. So if we've repeated ourselves, apologies. Can't remember what we said. It was about a week ago. Anyway, Beyond Evil, the ending. Larry and Dr. Solomon come together after Dr. Solomon's
daughter wife has died.
Yeah, no, before that, he's done a little operation. A magical little operation, bloodless operation, where he just pushes the... You know, this is so random as well, because you don't know who he's doing this operation on. He cuts around the belly. Little 5-inch
I'm
slit
saying
down the belly.
it's clear which Dr. Bollocks, where he's not cutting her at all. It's something fake.
You said this,
I
but
still think I'm right.
But if they were intending that, like you said, it's a placebo operation.
Yeah.
Then why did the film not show like, oh, he's tricking the whoever was
I'm going to say
there.
maybe they didn't want to show that because this was shot in the Philippines in the 80s, and there's a chance that some of the people who were involved in the film, maybe on the crew and stage, whatever, might believe that type of medical health stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Said operation, this is something that's never mentioned. He pulls out like a stone or something of the stomach. Do you remember this?
No.
Yeah. I'll put the clip in and you can go back and watch it. When you check this out on YouTube, the Dreadcast channel, he pulls out a stone and then he just sort of, like it's clay, just sort of merges the wound back together.
A skilled surgeon will do that, you know. Just mush your skin back together.
Yeah, just push it back together. Anyway, so that's when Larry and Dr. Solomon work as a tag team. There you go. Gave you that one for free.
Woo!
Yeah. Well, no, we don't bring that to the podcast. Larry did not go woo on a bitch. And they blow up Alma's grave with dynamite. I don't know where they get it from.
Yeah,
Can't remember.
Just like when Kane was trying to tempt the Undertaker to fight.
That's all you get. That's all you get. And give it some praise. When Alma becomes fully, I guess, reincarnated.
So I'm amazed they blew up the grave. They could have just driven a car into it and it would have exploded perfectly anyway.
It would have exploded before it drove.
Halfway up the drive.
Yeah. And there wouldn't be anything left of it. All the bits, all the pieces of the car would have fallen off. Alma's, like, in theory, reincarnated. She's now one.
She's fully possessing Barbara.
But that actually looks great. The practical effects, the makeup effects.
She
looks really good.
Great.
Yeah. What one we didn't mention is the ring. That's why Barbara is possessed.
She finds Alma's ring, puts it on her finger swells up.
Yeah.
There we go.
And that's why Barbara's possessed. She finds the ring in the house. And Larry basically ends up managing to get the ring off Barbara, removing the possession of Alma once and for all. They live happily ever after. Dr. Solomon gets thrown out a window into the abyss. And the film just wraps up.
It doesn't want to leave you asking questions.
No, we're done. We're out of here.
The end.
Credits roll on the house and we're out of here. So yeah, that was Beyond Evil. Sorry that if you were really looking forward to an in-depth analysis on this film, just pretend it was. We kind of did go a little bit longer.
This film doesn't really deserve
in-depth
analysis.
It doesn't give enough to do it.
The only thing that deserved a decent bit of conversation is the Doctor's death in the car, because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. So you'll find out now, from now onwards, the rest of the episode, which I hope you enjoy, where we discuss 976 Evil, and after that, which film won, which film didn't win, or did neither win. That might be the case, but
I'd like to make a prediction.
Okay. So just before we get into the second feature of this duo spectacular, I just want to quickly bring up some of what could have been. So these were some. You can see the screen.
Evil Town.
So these were some films that I found.
Okay, I like the font. I like the kind of blade, the blade coming off the V and the W.
I'm sorry for the audio listeners, but this will be in the video portion.
All right, so the poster is
we're looking at
what looks like a doctor with his arm wrapped around a woman. He's holding an injection needle.
Looks like Kojak.
Yeah, he's a bald guy. I think he looks a bit like J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, but also, do you notice the By the way, so we're just looking at posters for other potential films from the 80s with evil in the title. Just quickly, do you notice the bottom? It's like a purposely cut out so something can slip out from it. It's like this is a scan. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
So that there's something behind the poster itself. Very odd.
Or it might be that this was not the poster. This could have been like the DVD sleeve or something.
Yeah, you're right. Do you know what I'd really like to do one time is us just review posters from like one film, like do different countries' versions of posters.
Oh God, yes.
That would be really fun to just review. So that's Evil Town. I mean, I'm going to assume he's the evil in the town.
I don't know. Maybe she's evil and he's the doctor and he's trying to knock her out to stop her being evil.
She's really got her eyes on that.
He looks a bit scared himself.
Yeah, he does. You're right. What else we got? We've got. Oh, that's not a good quality one. The House Where Evil Dwells.
Oh shit! I was very close to picking this.
Really?
I had a look at it, and then I quickly read through the Wikipedia article, and I thought this looks shit.
Yeah, that was. Well, why didn't you pick it then?
Because I went for a different one that looked shit.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So the film here is that I think it's set in Japan, and the samurai.
Oh, that makes sense with the artwork.
Yeah, the kind of the samurai kills his wife and her lover or something, and they possess the house, and then a modern couple move in. It's basically Beyond Evil, yeah.
In fact, that's what Beyond Evil should have been called. The House Where Evil Dwells.
Yeah.
The tagline, an ancient curse has turned their lives into a nightmare of lust and revenge. That is what happens in Beyond Evil.
It's weird when we get two films that are separate, but they kind of get produced at the same
It's
time.
weird, isn't it? It's almost like we've talked about that before.
It's like Volcano.
It's like Volcano and Dante's Peak. When did this come out? The House Where Evil... There it is. Evil Dwells. 82.
When was Beyond Evil?
80. So they had 2 years to produce it after the sequel. So what we got next? We got Evils of the Night. This looks like a heavy metal.
This
cover.
looks like your cheap, basically, poor excuse for porn.
Tagline: alien vampires have just landed from out. Oh my god! Look at the spaceship.
Yeah,
that's the Millennium Falcon.
No, it's legally distinct.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
It's called the Century Falcon. It's completely different. It's the Millennium
Eagle.
Eagle.
That? Alien vampires have just landed from outer space in search of the one substance they need to survive: teenage blood. Why has it got to be teenage? That's really.
Why have they decided they have to draw her A with massive tits, B with massive nipples?
They're pretty big, aren't they?
Well, they just stand out from miles around.
Why have they got to be alien vampires?
And why are they vampires when it looks like skeleton hands?
There's a lot of questions with this film.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks proper shit.
It looks really bad. Civil.
Ooh, that's a nice
Evil
poster.
Altar. Evil Altar.
That looks good.
That's a good
visually.
Poster.
That could stand out nowadays.
Yeah, with a bit more high res, but the cross, the burning. No, that's like a dagger.
It looks like a crucifix dagger.
Yeah, and with the cloaked figure behind.
That looks like it might be too good. Although the name Evil Altar sounds terrible.
I agree. I completely agree. And what Robert Zadar? I'm aware of Robert Zadar. Their tagline: there is only something to destroy his power.
See, that's an issue with this poster. It's visually striking, but the words Evil Altar, the the red on the black is
Yeah,
not
it's
enough
not
of a
good.
contrast. And the tagline at the top, I didn't notice until you started trying to read it.
It's really. It needs to be below it.
Yeah.
It needs to be below it. doesn't it?
On the nice black spot where there's clear space underneath Evil Altar, which does look like civil.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What we got next? Evil Spawn. This is what I should have picked. This for the audio listeners. Do look up the film Evil Spawn.
Is that a fly?
It's a very menacing looking fly.
But the wings look like bats' wings.
I don't think they're wings. They're its back legs.
Oh, a big. Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
Tonight she will love again and kill again. That looks fun because we did what did we do? What was the hooks? We did Mosquito. Oh, I think it was Killer Animals, Mosquito, and I'm gonna have to look this. I can't remember what the other film was we did in the two films under. But the mosquitoes were like big practical effect mosquitoes about meter by meter long.
Cool.
Flying around. It had Gunnar Hansen in, who was the original Leatherface. Yep. It was pretty rough. But
this Evil Spawn poster, I mean, visually it's striking. It looks like
it's great.
It pops. It's got good colour to it.
It pops, sparkles, and zings.
Although I don't get why the E in Evil is smaller than the rest of the font.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the A and the W are smaller, but you wouldn't do the E small. Maybe do the V or I.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Because it looks like the V and the I are now Roman numerals.
Yeah. It's E. What's L? L's 100, isn't it? Or 1,000?
I don't know Roman numerals very well, but E's 6 and 100.
Yeah. We did Mosquito and Strays. Strays was about
dogs?
An evil cat.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That brings in more strays and they attack and kill. It's not good. Mosquito was better. Do we got any more evil posters? Oh, New Year's Evil. Then another holiday one I wanted to do.
Again, that's a pretty decent looking poster.
Yeah. A celebration of the macabre. Don't dare make New Year's resolutions unless you plan to live. That's good. That looks too good. It's a Canon film as well.
No, it looks shit, but it looks half decent shit.
Enjoyable decent shit. Yeah. Well, that's all I got for that. There's probably more, but yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun. Do you know what's not so fun?
What?
And the film where I've put my third note for this film was, what is happening? Your film, sir.
619 Evil.
976. Now, the thing with 976, I never really understand America area codes.
It's not an area code.
It's a premium line,
It's
right?
a premium line. Although I think it might be a premium line for a certain area. But yeah, it's a premium cost phone call line.
Yeah. But they do have them, right?
We used to have, like, I think it was 0900 for us was the premium ones in the UK.
0800.
No, 0800 was free phone.
Oh, okay.
0800 was free phone. I think 0900 was the premium rate ones.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So the idea is that it's a premium rate, evil phone number. And also, it's a very American thing, spelling out something with the
always
letters.
555. And then the
Well, it's
word.
555 in a film because nowhere has the 555 area code. But Klondike 5, 3227.
Klondike 5, yeah.
But it's something you don't really get much of in the UK at all, even nowadays, is spelling stuff out
No, not at all.
with the letters.
Not at all.
I mean, for me, if I want my password on my phone is always swear words spelled out with the numbers.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
Because it sticks in my head, and if I forget what it is, then I'll just go through some swear words until I
Fuck,
unlock
shit.
my phone. Yeah, pretty much.
Balls.
Yeah.
Don't swear.
But in America, you see quite a lot. Oh, cool. 3, 2, 1, ace or something.
Yes.
And so they'll spell out something with what the numbers are, which didn't really seem to catch on in the rest of the world. But I think it's a cool way of remembering your number.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't think you could do that at all nowadays because of the way phones are. When we grew up, when we had actual keypads, that each number was allocated with 3 to 4 letters.
And you had to text somebody like
Exactly.
81111122112
And that doesn't exist anymore.
No.
It doesn't exist. Like, the younger generations don't have keypads. They have a keyboard.
Although it's still, like, on your iPhone, if you're unlocking it, it will still say, like, 1 is ABC, and then it will still say it.
I don't think they would be much paid attention to because you don't have to, whereas the original number buttons you had to.
Yeah.
So
976 Evil.
Your film, and the reason you picked it was Robert England. Had to be, right?
Yeah, because it's Robert England's
Yeah.
first directing gig.
Yeah.
The whole reason I chose this film.
It shows. Man. I mean, we'll get on to which film wins at the end, which film we both preferred. I think I know which one you're going to pick. And I think I may have changed my decision. But at the same time, this film was bad.
This film managed to look both like it cost a lot of money and was very cheap at the same time.
Yes.
I mean,
completely.
It had really decent sets.
Mm-hmm.
They had put a bit money into good location scouting or building of the sets. They tried, but then they hadn't filled them with any extras.
No.
So we have the diner, the all-night diner where have a few scenes, which is called Dante's because, let's just use all the devil stuff we can think of.
Yep.
And of course, Spike always orders like a deviled egg sandwich or something. But
how many did you catch?
There are nobody else. There's nobody else in the diner with the exception you've got the waitress, and then you've got whoever happens to be the character we are with. So either the investigator or Spike. That's it. And then she talks to the cook who is off screen and doesn't respond. Hey Marty, get a Western omelette and a deviled egg sand, and then nothing.
Rackham.
Just nothing. There's scenes in the high school where we only see the characters who we have already seen on screen. So there's a gang of kids.
Only the ones we need to see, basically, yeah.
The gang who have several scenes, they're in the school, and that's it.
Yeah.
So the
locations don't feel fleshed out.
Not at all.
Not at all.
When they buy their tickets to go to the cinema, it's shot in such a way that you don't see inside the ticket booth because there's nobody in the fucking ticket booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they go to a pizza place later on, it's framed so that you see the table they're at with their pizza, and you don't see anything else because there's nobody else there.
No extras, nothing. It doesn't feel fleshed out. It doesn't feel busy or lived in.
He framed the shots to try and hide it, so he tried his best to point out there were zero extras on this film.
Yeah, as far as the film itself, where did you say you watched this?
Oh,
some random website.
Yeah, Movie Crumbs or something.
I think mine was Daily Motion. Like I said, I think it was 2 parts, but the quality was really dark. The quality of it was hard to see a lot of the film.
Oh, that might be your recording.
Right, so it wasn't.
Mine was fine.
Fine.
I said it looked both cheap and expensive. Visually and audio was fine. It was very good. Much better than Beyond Evil.
Sound design and audio is way better in this film.
Yeah.
Yes.
But visually, no, it wasn't too dark or too light. It was fine. That might have just been the version you watched.
Yeah, it probably was.
Because I was impressed with how well shot some of it was for a bad film. It didn't obscure too much of the stuff that was going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get that. As far as you said about production, they had a big pyro budget. At the end.
Yeah.
The title 976 Evil, I don't think would really fly today.
Not at all.
It's complete bollocks.
But it would have made sense at the time.
Yes, at the time. Again, like we were talking about the keypads. The title was complete bollocks. It's just 3 random numbers and the word evil slapped on, really. Unless you watch the film and actually decide to watch the film and go, oh, okay, it's about that. If you had no idea, if you didn't watch the film, you had no idea what it's about.
So the idea is it's a premium rate phone line, and you call, and you get given your evil...
Like a fortune.
Fortune told, yeah.
Oh, this is fun.
But it turns out it's actually the devil. Blah.
Ooh, spooky.
So yeah, you got the 2 main characters are Spike and Hoax, and all you think of is who the fuck named these characters.
They're cousins.
They're cousins. Spike is a dog from Tom and Jerry, and Hoax is not a fucking name.
Spike is the Brian Flagg of this film. Brian Flagg, the character from main character from The Blob, he's the bad boy with his leather jacket and his bike. And Hoax, played by Stephen Jeffries from Fright Night.
Vampire dude.
Yes, yeah. He's 24 in real life, but in this he's like meant to be 16, 17?
Yeah, high school age.
He doesn't look it.
When I started the film, I thought, okay, the guy playing Spike's a really good actor. And the guy playing Hoax is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
The problem was that he was playing Hoax as this kind of nerdy weakling kid who gets beat up a lot and is really bad with the ladies and all that stuff. And he appeared to decide the way to play that character was slightly mentally retarded.
Disabled.
It felt like he was trying to play him kind of slightly mentally disabled.
I agree. Yeah, yes.
But later on, when he becomes possessed and he's kind of evil, he seems like a much better actor. So I realized, okay, it's not he's a terrible actor, it's just the way he was being told to play the part made him seem like a bad actor.
You mean when he turns into a vampire/demon from Buffy or Angel?
Or Dawn of the Dead, yeah. Not Dawn of the Dead.
He looks like he's from a 90s
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, with the long rat thing in there. Yeah.
Just the one hand, though.
It's the one hand and a little bit of face makeup with the sunglasses on. Yeah. There's not much else, really. He's still got the sweater vest and the shirt on. He's a very introverted, nerdy. The world hates him.
Yeah.
And I feel like this has been done before. This is a very...
It's a very cliche-heavy film.
Yeah, with the...
His mum is the incredibly religious person.
Very religious. The loser has been picked on, gets some magical powers. It's like, I'll show the world.
Yeah.
And the power corrupts him. And I feel like it's been done before. I can't think of a film off the top of my head right now, but it feels like it's been done.
Yeah. Wouldn't that kind of be a bit Toxic Avenger-y?
I mean, that's pure Toxic Avenger. And I mean, he just becomes a superhero in general.
Yeah.
Speaking of Toxic Avenger, the last film
Dinklage!
was a trauma film. Trauma film. Beyond Evil was a Trauma film.
Okay.
Trauma studio who did Toxic Avenger. Yep. So when I first saw Trauma pop up in the opening credits, I was like, oh, we're in for a treat here. That treat did not occur, sir. No. But yeah, so that's basically what he is.
Yeah, Spike calls up 976. Spike, the really cool guy who was playing cards at the beginning, lost his motorbike. The pink slip to his bike.
That's one of the sets as well, the dingy card where they're playing cards.
Yeah, but...
Shack or something. Is it a shack?
No.
Again, my film was very dark.
It's the projection room at the cinema.
I didn't catch that at all.
So, no, in the opening scene when they're playing cards, and all I'm hearing in the background is like screaming of horror films, I thought, what the fuck are they? Are they just playing random horror film sounds to show it's a horror film? And then later on, where he goes back to the cinema with his girlfriend and then just goes off to play cards with them, you realise that is the projection room.
I see, okay.
And you can see the projector kind of projecting behind them.
Okay.
So they're playing cards in the projection room.
Yeah, one of the set pieces, yeah. He loses all his money there, right?
He loses all his money, and he bets the pink clip to his bike and loses as well. So he's got to come back the next day and give them the bike. So he goes home. He lives in a caravan trailer in the garden of where his aunt and his cousin live.
Yeah, Hoax and his mum Lucy, yeah.
And they somehow have one of those kind of suction tube things for sending money to the bank or whatever, but between Hoax's bedroom and Spike's,
sending messages to each other.
Oh, not to each other, one way entirely.
It's just a Spike.
Just Hoax sending stuff to Spike.
Yeah, it's the ones you get like a supermarket where they send the change back up. Yeah. I'm always baffled how they work. They're amazing.
Suction.
Just simply suction.
Yeah.
Like little bearings inside.
That's why when they put the stuff in, they have to close it before they press the button. Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
It's like a toilet on an airplane. Just sucks it out.
Yeah.
I just want to put a pause on everything. We've completely skipped over Raining Fish.
We haven't got that far yet.
Oh, I thought we were past it. Because Raining Fish happened in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know, but it's after he's got back home after losing the bike.
I do apologise.
And then it rains fish.
I did say, what is happening in this film? I'm very lost.
Yeah, it rains fish, and that makes no sense as well. No. But no, his fortune he gets from calling up the number is basically it rhymes, but I can't remember what it is. So it was along the lines of, you're in debt, but don't worry, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, they're like a little four sentence rhyme or something.
Yeah, and then somehow he ends up with enough money to pay it off. So instead of giving them the pink slip to the bike, he gives them the money at school the next day. And he has a chat with the main bad guy, who's just a high school kid. And they're chatting for about a minute, and then he kind of walks around, because they're in the toilets, he walks around the corner, and he finds two of the other bad guys are giving his cousin a swirly. And it's been going on in the background of their scene for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it is, yeah. No, nothing like, what's going on over there? No, it just completely ignores it.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely oblivious.
And then beats them up because he's the cool kid.
Well, the bad guys they've no characteristics to them. They're not important. They may as well be extras.
I don't know if they have names. I mean,
No, I can't remember.
oh, Airhead. One of them's called Airhead because he says, "Hey, I'm not Lunkhead. I'm Airhead." Yeah, I think he's called Airhead. He might not have been.
Bill Paxton and the other gang members from the beginning of Terminator have more character than these guys.
Mm.
So are we at the Raining Fish yet?
Oh, it has rained fish.
It has
That's how he
rained
got
fish.
the money
Okay, I
to then
just want
pay
to
off.
make sure we get that in.
It rains fish for some reason, and she's so weird.
And she loved it. The mum loves it.
Oh yeah, because she's very religious.
Saves it, right?
Yeah,
She believes it's like a
sign from God.
sign, yeah.
Also, she's got lots of cats, and cats like fish.
Yes, they do have lots of cats.
They don't say this in the film, but
No.
you can pick up on it.
Just assume. Don't ask questions. Just consume product and move on. That's what people should do nowadays.
So yeah, Spike's got his girlfriend. He's banging her in his room, and then Hoax sends a note, and I couldn't say what the note said.
No.
Because Spike doesn't read it out loud, which is good
Yes.
because it's a realistic thing.
Yes.
But he reads it, and it's shown on camera a bit, but you can't really read it. And he shows it to his girlfriend, who kind of reacts. So I think it might have been Hoax asking, can you turn her a bit more to the left or something? Because he's spying on them through the window.
Yeah, he really is that introverted, loser, nerdy, pervy kid. Creep, yeah. Sum up. The thing you mentioned about, I'm glad he didn't read the note out. And I'm glad. I like that because I hate in films or TV where if someone's on the phone, you shouldn't be able to really know what's going on. You should try and piece it together and not be, you're going down the shops, you're going to buy bread and milk too. They just repeat.
Genuinely,
exactly.
right now, I'm glad you said that. I just remembered I need to pick up milk on the way home.
Oh,
So
well,
thank
there you go. You're welcome. Well, if you tell me, I'll tell you on the phone. But do you know what I mean? They repeat everything on the phone so the audience knows what's going on.
Or when they read their text out loud.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
I'll be home in 5 minutes. I mean, you're on your own. You don't need to read your text out loud.
There's no one else here.
Yeah.
There's no one here.
Oh no! Now the killer knows.
Is this? Are we close to the point where Hoax discovers the number? I can't remember how.
So
how he finds the number
after
someone did ring it and dies in a back alley.
Was killed by phones.
Yeah, I don't really remember that too.
I think I can't remember at which point this happens, but she tears up the little kind of card with the number on it, and then a payphone near her rings. She answers it, and it's the devil, kind of like going, blah, 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 blah. She's like, I tried, I gave it away, and I'm not going to do it anymore. And then she hangs up, and then she walks past an electronics shop, and all the phones in the window start ringing. Then the window explodes, and then she's dead, surrounded by ringing phones.
No idea her name. Not important.
No.
Throwaway character.
Yep. But no, the way that Hoax finds the number is after Spike has been banging his girlfriend, they decide to go to the cinema, so they leave. She leaves her panties there, so she has an excuse to come back. Hoax goes in, finds the panties, starts sniffing them, and then puts them in his pocket.
Yep.
And also finds the card with the number on it.
He also discovers at this point she's cheating on Spike?
No.
Is she not playing around on Spike? That's why he targets her.
No, she's not. I don't think she's playing around. She's cheating on Spike.
I'm going to have to get the Wikipedia up for this.
But he doesn't target her at first. What happens is he calls the number, and the number basically says, all right, if you go out now, you might find a woman. And so he goes to the cinema, and Spike was going to the cinema with his girlfriend.
Yep.
Went to play cards instead. She got bored and was leaving, and she bumps into Hoax. So her and Hoax go and get pizza.
At the busy pizza place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the gang of mean kids come and beat up Hoax for a bit and find the panties in his back pocket. Mm-hmm. And then she's like really upset because she realizes that Hoax, instead of being a nice guy and just coming to have a chat, had gone into Spike's room, found her stuff. It's like, I thought you were different.
I really paid attention to this film.
Yeah.
I watched it, all right?
Hoax then kills her with an evil satanic ritual.
Yes, yeah.
But he says to Spike, I killed her for you. She was making you look like a fool. But I think he was just...
He was spurned. Dad.
He was spurned.
Yeah.
But no, when he kills her, he's reading out like... Oh no, I don't know if he's saying it out loud or if it was from the phone line, but it's like, make a circle of salt and put a star in it, and then add an insect. I think, but add an insect, that's a tarantula. Hoax has already explained how he knows all the different insects and the difference between tarantulas and arachnids and non-arachnids. So it's said to get an insect, and he went for an arachnid, and it still worked. This film is bollocks.
No explanation. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, and then she dies because Hoax manages to somehow make loads of spiders appear in her dinner.
Oh, yes, you're right. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Forgot about the spooky spiders?
I did forget about the spooky spiders because they were so spooky. I tried to erase it from my memory. They're so spooky. I'm now trying to remember where we... This film... I feel like I remember Beyond Evil, got it right, more because of probably how simplistic it was compared to this. This, to me, was a bit of a mess. I mean, it went from start to finish, but it did feel very loosey-goosey in the middle, which is why I'm not really remembering it as well. Plus, I watched it first before Beyond Evil.
Whereas I watched this
exactly
last night.
Well, good. There you.
It helps.
Carry on. So after, did we know her name? Spike's girlfriend?
They probably mentioned
They may
it,
have
but she's
mentioned,
Spike's girlfriend, yeah.
Oh, it might mention here, actually.
So Spike goes... Well, they're at school the next day, and then Hoax is like, I'm really sorry I killed your girlfriend. And Spike's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
In the very, very empty school.
It's where he's starting to be more corrupt.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And Spike pushes him down, and so Hoax is lying on the floor looking up at Spike, and Hoax is like, oh, is it going to change when I'm going to be the one looking down on you? Foreshadowing, that's exactly what happens.
Yes, the corruption is really getting into him now.
And then Spike just disappears until the end of the film.
Yeah.
Spike just, in the whole of Act 3, Spike is not there until the very end.
It's basically Hoax getting his revenge
and the
in a
investigator.
way? Sorry?
The investigator guy.
Yeah,
He's an investigator who said he's from, I think it's like a Christian magazine or something, investigating the fish, and then he keeps investigating, and he goes to their school and talks to, I think maybe like the secretary. It's like, oh, I need to talk to one of your students, Spike. And then she's like, is he in trouble? Well, he might be. Okay, you got 5 minutes. And then she just leaves. She doesn't escort him to speak to Spike. Mm-hmm. So he's now got to wander around the school and find Spike. He doesn't. So it's such... But then, okay, she's been in the film now, so she can now do the scenes near the end of the film as well. When we need to have two people, she can be the second person, rather than get a new actress. So the investigator finds the card after Spike and Hoax have the argument at school. Spike tears the card up with the number on it. The investigator finds it, but rather than call the number, he calls up like the phone company and asks for the address.
Yes, he goes to the location. That's it. The location, which is the last shot of the film. Yeah. Yeah, that's... okay, I remember that. It's like the I don't know, what would you call it? The telephone exchange building where... Yeah. The different phone lines going into the different boxes.
Loads of different premium rate phone lines. All of them run by the same guy.
Yes.
I think his name's like Mac Black or something.
Mac Black.
His name, I think it rhymes, and my head is saying Mac Black.
Mark Dark.
Mark Dark. There we go. Damn, so close.
Brilliant. Oh, he's of course, he's the Doctor on Star Wars.
That was it. That was it. He plays the hologram Doctor in Star Wars. Star Trek.
He's
in Voyager.
He's Doctor in Voyager. Yes, I thought they recognised him.
So he runs all the phone lines, and he was talking about that he set up this evil fortune teller line, but it was set up so that it was run with an automated system, but nobody really called it up, so he just turned it off 3 months ago because it was costing more in electricity than it was to the money he got from the calls. Yeah, that then happens, and then Hoax goes and kills all the baddies, all the gang that he didn't like.
Basically, whoever wronged him in the beginning of the film.
And we get a bit more kind of foreshadowing, because they're playing poker, and he has aces and eights, the dead man's hand.
Yep.
And then he cuts his hand off. There we go. Yeah. And then he
kills everyone, right?
He comes in with... off screen, he's cut out two of their hearts and walks in. Can I get in the game with a pair of hearts? You don't have a pair of fucking hearts. You have a pair of a number, not of a suit. If you went, I'm going with a flush hearts, that would have worked.
He wanted a cool, catchy line. With a cool, catchy line.
That could be an action hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he just kills everyone.
I mean, towards the end of the film, what's like? There's like a standoff scene with him and Spike, and he's basically
him and Spike and some green screen.
Yeah, bad green screen.
Really
he's basically opened like the pit of hell.
Yeah.
It's like blue. It's like icy blue. It's really weird.
Hell's frozen over. Which Spike says earlier on, hell will have to freeze over before you can beat me. Hell's frozen over.
Yeah, I suppose.
When Secretary Lady and Investigative Man climbs up a ladder for some reason, and then Hoax appears, just kind of like looks at him, and then he falls off the ladder like he was scared, and then he's injured. So Secretary Lady goes into the house, and everything's frozen. By which I mean they're using blue light and a shitload of cotton wool.
Yeah,
and then a little bit of dry ice to make a little bit of fog, but it's so much cotton wool.
It's bad. It's really bad.
And then Spike grabs her, and then Investigator Man comes to... Not Spike. Hoax grabs her. Investigator Man tries to help. And it's absolute horseshit.
It's really bad. I mean...
Because hell's frozen over, so there's a giant pit of ice. And then later on, he opens up a pit to hell, which is on fire still.
Yeah.
There's a fire pit and then an ice pit.
Yeah.
Put them together, nice and warm.
It's a really messy ending, because Spike and Hoax die.
No, Spike doesn't die.
Hoax
You
dies.
think Spike's going to die, because
that's it.
Spike grabs Hoax in like a bear hug and then runs towards a window, and you think, he's going to dive both. No, he just throws Hoax. Hoax dies.
Yeah,
Spike's fine. You know Spike's fine because he's in the sequel.
I was about to bring up, did you know there was a sequel?
I did, and I also know that Spike's in it.
So
because I looked up the actor's Wikipedia, and it says he's in Beyond Evil 2.
Yeah.
Beyond Evil, 619.
Beyond Evil 2. I briefly noticed it this morning.
Talk about the wrestling references that you say, always try and force in there.
That's all right. Go
I
on.
repeatedly say
Go on,
619
it's all
Evil. Aces and eights!
Yeah, I thought you were going to bring that up. Yeah. Oh, awful faction. 976 Evil 2 from 1992. Direct to video. Shocking. Premise. Spike returns to battle the supernatural.
Sorry. Forget the premise. It's all about the tagline on the poster. This time the devil calls back.
This time Satan returns.
Oh, shit. Off the top of my head, I couldn't remember it, but yeah.
But the subtitle is The Astral Factor. 976
It's like the Krypton Factor.
The title is so messy. 976 Evil 2, The Astral Factor. What does any of that mean? Spike returns to battle the supernatural in a small Californian college town. Someone is killing college students at an alarming rate. A pretty student, Robin, we have to specify a pretty student, Robin learns that her dean, Professor Grubeck, is a ghost using astral projection and a satanic 976 horoscope hotline to kill. It's messy.
Yeah.
It's way too messy. Not Robert Englund is nowhere near involved with this film, thankfully. But if his first film was anything to go by, not all actors should go down the directorial route.
He didn't write it.
No, he still directed it.
Some of the framing of the scenes was good. It wasn't a good film.
No, it wasn't.
The acting was not good
The
at
acting
all.
was not good either.
Special effects struggle, but it's an 80s film.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of forgive a lot of it. No, I don't think it was terrible. I preferred it to Beyond Evil.
That's your pick.
Definitely.
You would pick this. Okay.
Oh, they're both awful. I would not want to watch either of them again. But 976 Evil, I have to read it off your screen each time because I forget its fucking name.
Yeah, me too.
976 Evil is less boring and less offensive to sensibilities than Beyond Evil. They're both terrible, though.
I get that. I still think, and this isn't just because it was the one I chose, I still think I would go for Beyond Evil over both. It's not just because I'm a John Saxon fan, it's not because I picked the film, this is the film I picked. I think I could sit and somewhat understand it and just get from A to Z easier than I could with this film. I really didn't like the characters of Hoax and Spike. More so Hoax. I hated Hoax.
Spike was your
Spike was
typical kind of 70s, 80s
Yeah.
Antagonist.
I don't know if it's just Stephen Jeffries.
Protagonist.
I don't know if I just don't like Stephen Jeffries. I didn't like him in Fright Night, if I'm honest. But yeah, production-wise, it's a better film.
Yeah.
976 is a way better film than Beyond Evil. Nearly said it wrong then. But as a whole, I would pick Beyond Evil. But we're out of stalemate then. I think we've had this before in Two Films Underwear. We didn't potentially get a winner, but we both individually.
We're both losers.
We're both losers because we both had to watch these films.
Yeah.
How long is 976 Evil? I think it's
about 90 minutes. I'm going to say 93.
We got a 92. So pretty much about the same as Beyond Evil. We tried the first two films under we did. We had to find 80 minutes or under, and that was so hard.
That's difficult.
Hey, we did it. I believe we did it. From what did we do? We did Nightmare Sisters with Linnea Quigley. That was that one.
The spin-off from Sister Sister.
20 years before, yeah. And the Nightmare Stalker. No, Nightmare Radio, the Night Stalker. That's a compilation film, like a VHS or
anthology
film.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not great.
Any of the segments good?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's bad. it's I think it was mid 2000s, late 2000s. It's not good. Yeah, I personally didn't really have that much to say on this film. Do I have any other notes? Corrupted by the Evil, run and jump into the fire at the end was hilarious. I did note that. That was quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, this didn't have much juice. They both didn't have much juice. There was very little meat in both these films. But I guess, yeah, so there's no winner of this one. We're all losers, including you who have decided to listen and watch this episode.
There doesn't deserve to be a winner between these films.
No, and that has, as I said, that has happened. Me and Ada had both chose a film that one of us had liked in each, and there was no clear-cut winner, whereas when we did Funny Games, and the other film which was so impossible to watch.
Surely it's not Funny Games.
Not Funny Games, sorry. It's because you mentioned Funny Games.
Yeah.
It's Funny Man.
Funny how? Funny like a clown? Do I amuse you?
How the fuck am I funny? Where was it?
Get your fucking shine
Funny
box.
Man. Dark Carnival versus Funny Man. Dark Carnival we had to watch on a YouTube video, but
was this like a clowns or something?
It was oh god, we talked about it for maybe 15 minutes. It was.
No, I mean, what had you pulled out of?
Oh, it was clowns and oh god, what was
the sounds 80s maybe?
No, it was 90s.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it was 90s and clowns, but Dark Carnival was like an indie film, really indie. We had to watch on a YouTube video, whereas people tried to get around the copyright strike.
But like zooming in a bit.
They'll zoom it, put it in the left-hand corner. That's how we had to watch this film, and it was so hard to watch. Whereas Funny Man, it's on Blu-ray, it's on 4K, you can get it on Amazon. It was great. I think you'd enjoy Funny Man. It's good fun.
See, if we get like a clown and it's 2010s, there's a Ross Noble film called Stitches.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I've never seen it, but yeah. Oh, well, it might pop up.
It had like a 1 week run at the cinema, and I went to see it because I love Ross Noble, and I hated the film so much.
Is he just a killer clown? Evil killer clown. What's the motive?
I can't remember. Yeah. I think he was at a kid's birthday party and the kids were picking on him or something, and he died in an accident, and then he came back as an evil killer.
Went to kill those damn kids.
The only thing I can remember from the film, which might not have happened, by the way.
Okay, well that's probably, yeah.
I think there's a part where he uses like an old-fashioned can opener. So one of the ones where you kind of keep stabbing it in to open.
Yeah.
To take the top of the kid's head off and then eat his brains. Now, that might not be in this film. That might be in another film. It might never have happened. Weird dream. But I think that happened in this film. And he's kind of sitting in a pantry eating a kid's brains.
That's pretty cool.
It's not a good film.
What are the effects, though, for something like
that? Practical effects were fine.
Okay, good. That's what matters.
But Ross Noble isn't an actor.
No, he's not.
He is a comedian.
Does it show?
He is an amazing person on panel shows. He is so funny. I've seen him do stand-up. I can't count how many times I've gone to see him live.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a terrible actor.
Yeah, I can believe it. I wonder how much he got paid for that.
Probably did it for exposure.
Yeah, probably. So what do we? So sum up. We're all losers. Don't watch either of these films. Thanks for listening to us, though. The next picks we watched was 2010s?
I think it was 2010s, and it was an unusual monster.
So that will be coming back in March. The next two films under. Just want to look, because looking back from...
Or was it 2000s?
Oh, no, it was 2000s.
Yeah, because
right,
it was a 4. You got 4, 2000s.
Yeah, 2000s and Unusual Monster. So over the next month, check out all the socials, such as TikTok, Twitter X, Instagram, and Blue Sky, and I'll keep you updated as to what films might be cropping up. Be a batch of 10 maybe, some random ones in there, and we'll see which ones of it we eventually pick each. Some of the ones we did originally, I was just looking up, we did 80 Minutes or Less and Nightmare in Title. So Nightmare Sisters versus Nightmare Radio. Dark Carnival versus Funny Man, which we just talked about, was clowns and 90s. We did Polaroid versus Countdown. Those were, I think, cursed items.
Was Countdown the one from a couple of years ago?
It was from 2010s. About a killer app.
I fucking hate that film.
Yeah.
It's one of the few films where I haven't finished watching it.
It's bad.
I got about 3/4 of the way through that film and thought, fuck this. And I read the Wikipedia article for what happened in the film. It was so bad.
Yeah. The app counts down. And,
yeah.
And they both end with just some generic looking demon that is the thing that kills you. It's bad. Polaroid, I think, won on that one. Then we did Mosquito versus Strays, which was, I think, again, 90s and Killer Animal. And then last one we did ages ago, about 4 months ago, was Alien Lockdown versus Evil Aliens.
Alien in the title? Or just Alien
Alien
films?
in the title. And from the noughties. Yeah, because Evil Aliens, which was Aiden's pick, basically felt like a Nuts magazine in the film sense. It was fun.
An Alien Lockdown?
10 p.m. Sci-Fi Channel film, basically. May as well have been. Or Poundland DVD.
There we go.
So cool. I think that about sums it up for these films. Next up. Oh wait, what's up?
I might have a film.
Already?
I did a thing
Already?
back when Blu-rays were really expensive.
Blu-ray?
Blu-ray.
Blah, blah, blah.
Back when Blu-rays were really expensive, you were looking at over 20 quid a pop for any Blu-ray. If I saw one in a charity shop for a couple of quid, I would buy it. I bought one called Husk.
Oh, I know.
It's about
Husk.
scarecrows. Now, I watched the first 10 minutes of it and then thought, fuck it, and stopped watching it because it was crap. But that might be, if that was in the 2000s...
I'm afraid, sir.
2011, 2012?
2010.
Oh,
that counts as the 10s.
Because scarecrows would be an unusual monster.
I agree. I think that falls in perfectly.
Apart from the wrong decade.
But I think that's a great way to... That's a great path to go down with the unusual monster type. So that's cool. That's going to be really interesting to look for.
Because Splinter would definitely be in that.
But it's too
good.
It's too good. Yeah, so that'll be in March. Next up, a film you picked, which I'm really looking forward to seeing.
I've still not watched it.
Neither have I.
Great.
I think we'll get to it this week. But caught up Rec 1 and Rec 2 past few days. Rec 2 really is superb. Like, Rec 1 is incredible, obviously. We both adore it. But Rec 2, sequels, people go, oh, it's not as good as the first. No, I think it's as good.
I mean, the fact that they do the split screen with the 4 cameras of the 4 different policemen, the SWAT officers going in.
It's a great concept.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's a great concept. And it continues the mythology of what's going on.
Well, it goes from being a zombie film into being a possession film.
Well, you kind of get hints of that at the end of Rec 1. In the last
gets
10
hinted,
minutes.
but it's still a zombie film.
Yeah, definitely. Rec 2 is fantastic.
Yep.
We both haven't seen Rec 3. I know of Rec 3. It's the prequel, I believe, and then we're going to be doing Rec 4, so we'll get to that. That'll be next episode.
So, this week I'm watching 2, 3, and then 4.
It's a great week. We're going to try and catch Companion, new film with Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher. Hopefully that'll be an upcoming episode.
That's the evil robot?
Yeah, not Megan, basically.
Roberto.
Yeah.
Practical stabbing.
Oh, still red. Love Roberto. And then we'll have a Treehouse of Horror 11 and 12 coming up as well soon. So
Yay.
Plenty good stuff to come.
Simpsons.
That's it. We have to do a 2 films under now for another month.
I am looking. Well, you say that. I'm looking forward to finding a shit monster film,
I
unusual monster.
I think they can be more fun when
Yeah.
they are modern. When they are 70s and 80s B movies, they are hard to get through.
I think the problem's going to be finding a 2000s unusual monster film where they don't use shit CGI for the monster.
Oh, it's got to be.
I want practical effects. I want
want-
shit practical effects.
I want the middle ground. I want stop motion shit. I want stop shit.
Oh my god, stop
shit-
motion
Shit, stop motion, practical effects. Like
with CGI
skeletons-
blood.
Skeletons from Jason and the Argonauts sort of thing. That's what I want. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's the mission. That's the goal. So, yeah, until next time. I never know how to end this.
Monkey Butler.